How y'all doing today? Today I'm gonna be doing something a little different from what I usually do. I'm talking about my favorite players of all time. And you're gonna be like, why is Josh Smith on screen? Because he's one of my favorite players of all time, dum-dum. Anyway, what's he gonna do? Josh Smith was a complete bucket. He was a guy who could do stuff. I mean, look at this clip right here, jumping over and doing jumping over someone and doing a windmill in the dunk contest. Are you kidding me? Anyway, I just think that a lot of people underrated Josh Smith. Oh, look at this dunk right here. Anyway, a lot of people underrated Josh Smith when he came into the NBA because, I don't know, they just didn't see him as this guy that could go out and potentially be like an all-star caliber player, which I think he was in his prime. He was one of the greatest dunkers in modern era. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can say about Josh Smith, but it's like, there's not enough time. I think the dude was absolutely unreal when it came to his dunking ability. And he was an extremely underrated defender. He could defend the perimeter and the interior very well. And he could hit the three ball sometimes, but I mean, that's besides the point. When I was younger, I watched Josh Smith when I was younger. He was Blake Griffin before Blake Griffin. I'm just gonna say it straight up. And honestly, I think his highlights are a lot more exciting than Blake Griffin's. Just kidding. But no, I do like Josh Smith, and I think he is a complete and utter bucket. No doubt about it. Next up, we got my boy Johnny Buckets Wall. Okay, that's not his real name, but it's too common. John Wall. Okay, you guys don't understand. Watching prime John Wall was like watching poetry in motion. I mean, the dude was super fun to watch when it came to defense. He would get some crazy athletic blocks. Then he would go out there and get himself a dunk out of nowhere. Or he would do a crazy pass or a crazy layup that you just couldn't comprehend. In his prime, the dude was averaging like 23 and 10. That's a crazy number. So that's not why he's one of my favorite. The dude's just a genuinely nice guy. And he actually cares for a lot of people. He did have an interview recently about where he aired out the Rockets for some reason, and I just can't get behind that for some reason. But yeah, I mean, before I like really got into basketball, John Wall was like the first guy I could like really watch and be like, dang. Because I'm gonna be honest, in high school I'd watch his high school mixtape like for hours, like not hours, but I watched his high school mixtape at least like 10, 12 times, just because it's like his high school mixtape was so insane, bro. And I'm just gonna be honest, I really like John Wall. I liked his athleticism. He won the dunk contest, and let's be honest, he had that dog in him. Bro was Tupac. He was gangster. You're probably wondering why Deron Williams is on the screen right now. Because Deron Williams is one of my favorite players of all time. Get with the program, old man. But no, I really did like Deron Williams. I think he has one of the smoothest handles. He was one of the most athletic players. But he was Damian Lillard before Damian Lillard, where he'd be a guy who could go out there and hit a three or hit a mid-range, and he'd still have like crazy bounce on top of that. I think a lot of people did underrate Deron Williams, actually. I mean, there was a point and period in time where Deron Williams was in the conversation for best point guard in the league with Chris Paul. That's not even a joke. I mean, Deron Williams has some of my favorite highlights ever, and I don't know. There's something about him. For some reason, there's no reason for him to be one of my favorite players of all time, but he just is. And I can't explain it. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. Maybe it's his play style. Maybe it's how he carried himself on the court. I don't know, man. It's something about Deron Williams that made me go like, okay, yeah. The dude had a smooth handle. He had bunnies. He had the shot. He was Damian Lillard before Damian Lillard. Okay. Now here's a guy I grew up watching. His name is Kobe Bean Bryant. So transcendent to the sport of basketball, so transcendent to a lot of stuff. I love Kobe, man. Kobe got me into basketball, along with Bron. And we'll get to Bron later. But, yeah, Bron's on my list. I'll explain why later. Kobe is one of the reasons why I got into basketball. I mean, from how he carried himself on the court, how he had this mentality of, I'm going to be the best whether no one wanted me to or not, or the fact that, like, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I just like Kobe a lot, man. And there's some controversy. We all know the controversy early on in his career. I will not speak on that. And it is sad to know that he's gone and we will never see him again, along with the 9 of the passengers in that helicopter. Rest in peace. But so now I'm talking. Kobe. I mean, I still yell Kobe when I shoot a basketball, bro. I still yell Kobe. That's how like transcendent he was. The dude was so fun to watch in like 2013, where he was just carrying that trash Lakers squad, bro. And I mean, Kobe is literally one of the only players in NBA history who could actually do it all. He could shoot, he could defend, he could play make, and he could do everything well. And it's just, I don't know, it was so fun to watch. He could literally all your favorite players plus all your favorite teams. And when he dropped 81 on the Raptors, when I was like, I think that was 2006 or 2008, I don't know. I was either 4 or 6 at that time. Yeah, I remember that. We move on to my favorite center of all time, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was so fun to watch in his prime, and you're probably wondering why he's my favorite center. I'm gonna be honest, it's because of his athleticism and his defense. He's one of the first players I've ever seen, like, not one of the first, because you had Shaq, you had Tim Duncan, you had Kevin Garnett, but the highlights Dwight had were so insane. Like, when I watched them, I actually jumped out of my seat. Y'all don't remember when he absolutely crapped on LeBron and took him out of the playoffs. No one remembers that. No. They do remember that. And then LeBron and Kobe because of that, and that is one thing I hate Dwight for. I wanted to see a LeBron-Kobe matchup, but we never got it because of Dwight. But Dwight was so fun to watch, man, with how he like played in the post, just aggressively backing you down, then just absolutely yamming your life away. You couldn't do anything about it. And I love what he's doing now in Taiwan, but like prime Dwight, oh my gosh, you literally couldn't hold a candle to that dude. He would literally, like, there was nothing you could do to stop him. You threw the ball up, you could just throw it anywhere, from the free throw line, from the freaking 3-point line. Dwight would go up and get it, and like, it was just so fun to watch. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. That's the Superman I know. Okay, now let's move on to probably my favorite point guard of all time, Derrick Rose. There was nothing you can say about him. I mean, this dude, if you thought John Wall was smooth, Derrick Rose was like John Wall, but on crack. Maybe a little slower. Like, Derrick Rose was like Russell Westbrook bounce mixed with John Wall speed. That's how I saw Derrick Rose. And the bro was so fun to watch. His handles were amazing. His acrobatic finishes were unreal. And his bounce was unmatched. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe a smidge, like, maybe his bounce was a smidge lower than Russell Westbrook's, and his speed was a tiny bit slower, but compared to those two, if you combine, like, compared to those two, he was the most athletic point guard I've ever seen in my life. He would jump out the gym, absolutely dunk on the boy, and you couldn't stop him, bro. You couldn't stop him. There's no, like, that 2011 MVP race, I mean, I personally believe Braun should have won it, but I am not mad Derrick Rose won it at all. He definitely deserved it. I mean, holy crap. Did you not see his roster that year? Yeah, he had a lot of defense. He was literally the main offensive load. That's literally what Derrick Rose was. But Derrick Rose was super fun to watch in 2011. And, yeah, sadly, we say Prime D Rose for a reason, because we don't know what Prime D Rose would have been, sadly. We shouldn't say Prime D Rose, because this is just MVP D Rose. We don't know what Prime D Rose would have been, but this sadly was Prime D Rose. It really hurt me when he did, when he did tear his ACL. That was the end of an era. I'm gonna be 100% honest, but what can you do? Speaking of the most athletic point guards of all time, here's the next one. You got Jamal Morant. Now, yes, he's already one of my favorite players of all time. The dude is like, I'm pretty sure what we would have gotten if Derrick Rose never got injured. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, obviously that's maybe an exaggeration, but oh my gosh. He's doing stuff that Derrick Rose was doing. He has the same exact type of play style as Derrick Rose, except he dunks a lot. He's a lot more of a power finisher than a finesse finisher. And, like, he is a very finessey finisher. He does some crazy finesse finishes. But, like, right now he's probably my favorite point guard in the league. And he's one of my favorite point guards of all time already. That's how good John Morant is. I mean, holy crap. And I'm going to be honest, he was a better playmaker than that. Already, he's a better playmaker. But that's besides the point. I think both are amazing point guards. Derrick Rose is my favorite point guard of all time. I say that. Like, holy crap. I think it's so crazy because John Morant, I think, is more bouncy than Derrick Rose dang near, but I don't know. John Morant has some of the craziest almost dunks of all time, though. So John Morant would have a crazy body bag if all of his dunks went in. I'm going to be 100% honest. Yeah. The athletic finishes. The dude has handles out of this world. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, the only thing he really worked on is defense, but even then, he's an athletic point guard. He can get it down. John Wall did. He can do it. Okay, so here we have Jamal Murray. Now, Jamal Murray to me is like, I don't know. He's super fun to watch. I think he has the most enjoyable highlights out of any point guard in the modern NBA, in my opinion. I mean, the dude has bunnies. He has a three-point shot. He was like Deron Williams, I'm going to be honest. But, like, a lot more fun. I'm going to be honest. He's a lot more fun to watch than Deron Williams. And that's crazy to say. That's crazy to say. Sadly, Jamal Murray did get injured last year, but he's overcoming that. Dude is already back to form, in my opinion. He just had, like, a pretty effortless dunk in the fast break. And then he had a crazy, like, reverse dunk. Like, I don't know. He had, like, a crazy reverse dunk earlier this season when he came back. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Jamal Murray's just so fun to watch. I love that 2019-20 season. That was so fun. That was like a mixtape season for Jamal, bro. The dude was doing off the backboard dunks. He did a windmill. He was dunking on people. You couldn't stop him right here. And, yeah, eventually one day, this dude should be an all-star. I think next year he'll be an all-star. No doubt. Because who you gonna have over him? De'Aaron Fox? Oh, yeah. Hey, that's the dunk I was talking about. I'm just kidding. Not really. But it's like, you have to understand, Jamal Murray is going to be great, bro. And that's all I can really say. I said I would get to him. This is probably my second favorite player of all time. His name's LeBron Ramon James Sr. Yes, I do think Michael Jordan's the GOAT, but this dude, I'm going to be honest, I grew up watching LeBron. He's the main reason I got into basketball. Kobe was one of the main. He's probably the main reason I got into basketball. Watching LeBron cook the entire league from like, what, 2007 to like 2020 was so fun. Especially his 2018 playoff run. He literally turned it to Thanos. Just too bad the Avengers stopped him from getting his 5th stone, bro. I'm going to be 100% honest. If LeBron James got his 5th ring in 2018, he would be the GOAT to me. But sadly he didn't. I mean, he had to face the Avengers, so I can't really blame him. But it's like, holy crap, bro. If LeBron won 2 of those impossible rings ever, Bald Menace fans would have to shut their mouths. I'm going to be 100% honest. Because, holy crap, bro. I'm going to be so honest. Watching LeBron in his prime, because 2018, in my opinion, was the end of his, like, athletic prime. Whew, the dude could not be stopped. You literally could throw like 3 people at him. He would somehow find a way to either get a pass off or drive through the lane to dunk it. There was like, oh my gosh. I know I'm probably meat writing LeBron a tiny bit, but I'm talking about my favorite players of all time, and LeBron is one of them. Let's be honest. So please don't talk about meat writing. Like, come on, bro. Let's be honest. Anyway, yeah. Whew. That is one great player. And this here is going to be the longest segment of the video. This is my favorite player of all time, and I don't care what anyone says. It's Brandon Roy. I don't know, man. He's the first NBA jersey I ever got, and I'm just so sad, man, because he is probably, in my opinion, the biggest what-if in NBA history. Because he only played 5 years. And you know what he did in those 5 years? 3 All-Star appearances, 2 All-NBA appearances. And I know this doesn't make sense, but I believe if he never got injured, he would have an MVP. Yeah, that's how good I think Brandon Roy was. Brandon Roy was just, I don't know, man. He was just so fun to watch. He was like, his game was so smooth. And everything I love about, like, basketball, he embodied. He embodied effort on defense. He embodied that, like, will to win. Like, oh my gosh. And I don't know if this is something Kobe said or not, but I think Kobe said he is one of the toughest players to guard. That's what Kobe said. Because Brandon Roy, I don't know, man. He was just too fun to watch, a little bit. I'm going to be honest. I mean, he literally lost cartilage in his knee, and that is, like, the main reason he stopped playing. I wish he never lost cartilage. Because, by the way, bro shot 34% or 34% for his career from 3, but 37% in his, like, best 2 seasons. Also, here's something crazy. 80% of his 3-pointers were assisted. Only like 26% of his 2-point field goals were assisted. So 80% of them were unassisted. This man was a shot creator to the max. Holy crap. There was nothing you could tell me to change my mind about him being my favorite player. Dude, like, yes, he may not have the most dunks, but his dunks were so fun. Like, his best dunks. Woo! Woo! Dude was yamming on people. Dude, I'll be honest, Brandon Roy, I wish he played in the modern era, because he'd be Dame's Klay Thompson. Yeah. But better, because Brandon Roy is better than Klay Thompson. A better talent than Klay Thompson. I'm going to be 100% honest. But yeah, I mean, whew. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, I'm just kidding. I'm not done yet. Brandon Roy, oh man. I should know I shouldn't be continuing on this, but oh. I'm just so sad, man. It's like him and Derrick Rose are two of my favorite players ever. And Deron Williams, too. All three of them, like, had early ends to their career. And even Dwight Howard to a certain extent. Kobe to a certain extent. Like, and Jamal, oh my gosh. Like, a lot of players on this list, like, on this, like, thing I made, had such short careers, man. And, not short careers, but shortened to what their expectations should have been, what they could have been, and it's so sad. But yeah, Brandon Roy's game smooth. What can I say? Again, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to, you don't want to. I really don't care. I'm out. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, a flush to 7 dish down the drain. It'll end in the river. 10 out of 10. You won't be remembered with all these bars in this pen. The solitary is where I stay. Thanks for playing this game, and I hope your position has changed. Try to call my bluff, and you'll see just how much I